Here's more wrestling news for September 8th, 2021. And your headlines for this afternoon include Paige teases using "This is my house" catchphrase outside of WWE, WWE not booking in direct response to AEW All Out, former WWE champion says WWE has a problem with AEW, WWE replaced recently released NXT superstar with another superstar they later released, why Bryan Danielson couldn't use Europe's The Final Countdown for AEW debut, status of Tessa Blanchard in WWE, WWE star goes on Profanity-Filled rant against Adam Cole, and more. We are kicking off today with former Divas champion Paige, who was forced to retire in 2018 due to severe neck issues, which according to her are a thing of the past. In the past year, Paige has said how her neck is doing great and is asked about getting back in the ring, only to constantly be refused by WWE's higher-ups. Despite this, Paige has been adamant that her in-ring career isn't over, and judging by her most recent tweet, it seems she may be looking at life after WWE. On Twitter, Paige asked if she could still use the line "This is my house," her catchphrase from her in-ring days, and wondered if the line had already been taken. Paige clearly hopes to use the line that WWE almost certainly has a trademark on, and we'll have to see if Paige does indeed get to call the ring her house once more, and which company she screams her iconic catchphrase for. Over to Raw next, and just 24 hours after AEW All Out, WWE's premiere show had a lot of work to do to compete with the competition. WWE's president Nick Khan has previously said that WWE doesn't think about its competitors and that the company only focuses on their own product, but that may not necessarily be the case. When Ringside News asked about Raw's booking and if it related to AEW, a member of their creative team said, "WWE books in reaction to big football games, World Series, Olympics, college football. It's not limited to AEW." This deliberately vague answer did not say whether anything on Raw was all because of All Out, just that WWE books around various other shows, including Tony Khan's company. That is the opposite of what Khan has claimed, but it's unclear what segments, if any, from Raw were a response to last Sunday. Of course, WWE would never admit to booking in response to AEW, but the company is paying more attention to AEW than what Nick Khan would ever want you to believe. Whether WWE books in response to AEW or not, it's clear that the All Elite promotion has an incredibly loyal fan base, with many rejecting WWE's product, which has fallen a lot when it comes to quality. A mix of 50-50 booking, pointless tag team breakups, nonsensical storylines, and feuds that don't go anywhere have severely hurt WWE, as seen by the dwindling ratings over the past few years. On the other hand, AEW is going from strength to strength, especially after the huge debuts at All Out, and in a video, WWE Hall of Famer and three-time world champion Mick Foley gave a warning to Vince McMahon. WWE is no longer the place for talents to aspire to. Part of it is because AEW is doing a great job of attracting great talent, providing talent, creating storylines, but part of it is a problem of your own making. I think the younger talents see the way that the developmental characters are cut or left by the wayside or by the way of Karrion Kross, greatly watered down, or even made a joke of when they make their debuts on the main roster. It's not broke, don't fix it. If I was an aspiring talent right now, I'm not sure that I would trust WWE Creative would do the right thing with my career. Until that changes, WWE, you've got a problem. We certainly wonder if WWE will listen to Foley, as they need to do something fast to breathe new life into the company. And if they don't, then AEW will only keep taking more and more fans away from the sports entertainment juggernaut. Over the past year, WWE has been releasing a ton of talent, all part of Nick Khan's budget cuts, and this has led to some interesting moves across the dwindling 205 Live roster. In June, Ari Sterling faced Cameron Grimes, but that wasn't the original match, as Fightful Select reports that Arya Daivari was meant to wrestle Grimes as a heel, but was released just before the match took place. Pressed for time, WWE brought in Sterling to face Grimes, giving the 34-year-old a chance to prove himself to WWE as part of the push to elevate Grimes as a babyface. Sterling may have been given the opportunity to prove himself, but WWE didn't see much in him, as shortly after replacing a released superstar, he too was let go. Now Sterling is once again Alex Zane and is looking for prospects post-WWE, as being ready to compete for them at the last minute couldn't save him for the dreaded cuts. One of the biggest losses to WWE this past year was losing Bryan, who joined AEW as Bryan Danielson at All Out. Bryan's debut was huge, but some fans questioned why he didn't use Europe's The Final Countdown, the song he used prior to joining WWE in 2010. After all, Tony Khan has never shied away from using licensed music for wrestlers, but instead, Bryan used a theme created by Elliot Taylor. On Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer explained that Khan had tried to get The Final Countdown for Danielson, but the rights for the song would have been cost-prohibitive even for Tony Khan. Even without The Final Countdown, Bryan Danielson's first night in AEW was an epic success, but even Tony Khan couldn't justify spending the cash for Bryan's most iconic non-WWE theme. When Tessa Blanchard was released from Impact despite her being their world champion, the wrestling world was abuzz about where she'd go next, but in the years since her departure, Blanchard hasn't competed elsewhere. The NWA has reportedly spoken to her, but there's been no word from WWE or AEW, and there's a very special reason for that. Cassidy Haynes of Bodyslam.net reports that Blanchard's name is nuclear right now, and no promotion wants to go near her, adding that indie promoters feel the same way. Shortly before her historic world title run, La Rosa Negra accused Blanchard of spitting on her and using the N-word during a tour of Japan, leading to several wrestlers accusing Blanchard of many examples of backstage bullying. Now those frustrations are haunting Blanchard, as she can't seem to get work, and at All Out, some fans chanted "We want Tessa" during the Women's Casino Battle Royal, only to be drowned out by a much louder chant of "No, we don't." Blanchard has recently resurfaced as she was seen training Bayley superfan Izzy in a session, but the former world champion may have to keep waiting before she wrestles in front of a crowd again. More from AEW as Adam Cole made his debut at All Out, siding with the Elite after the main event. Cole's debut was a huge moment, and he got a huge ovation by the crowd, but one person who had some harsh words for the former NXT champion is Pat McAfee. Before joining SmackDown as a commentator, McAfee feuded with Cole in NXT, and on his show, the former NFL punter didn't hold back on his old rival. That was quite a big moment last night, you know? He's a piece of shit, that guy. I mean, congratulations to him, and that's a pretty big deal, but that guy. I can't take this guy. You know what, dude? Like, he's a terrible scumbag. Can't say it enough. Proved it again last night. Just can't help it. It oozes from his body. The McAfee-Cole feud ended last December when the Undisputed Era defeated Pat, Pete Dunne, Danny Burch, and Oney Lorcan in War Games, even though McAfee isn't ready to move on. Their rivalry may be long over, especially now that Cole's in AEW, but the SmackDown commentator isn't letting their grudge go, despite the former NXT champion now being in an entirely different company. And we're ending today with Eva Marie, who is still reeling from the beating she received from Doudrop on last week's Raw. In a video, the former Total Divas star can be seen undergoing a full-body MRI, which she said is to discover the physical and emotional damage from Doudrop's pre-match attack on her during the August 30th Raw. Doudrop has stated she wants a rematch, but Marie has responded that the only statements she sees in her former protege's future are the ones which she'll give in court over assault and battery charges. Ending her tweet by calling Doudrop a criminal, Eva isn't wanting to see her protege again anytime soon, but we expect this match will happen whether Eva wants it or not, sooner rather than later. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.